Hello foodies and food lumps. Today is a great day. Yes, so today what are we cooking today? It's been a while we've been eating and picking food, so let's find out. So I opened my freezer to fetch some peppers and some frozen meats. Of course, we are going to be using this for our food today. So who can guess what we are cooking today? So this is me coming with so much I fetched from the freezer and this is hilarious. So much to cook today. Of course, there's nothing we can cook without pepper. Look at my tray, how so full it is. Yes, so let me keep you off your suspense. Today we are going to be preparing egusi. Yes, so egusi. Do you know what that is? So this egusi is so versatile that we cook it in different patterns. So today I'm going to be using some pepper, I'm going to be using some more. I have 3 different stockfish here. So I'm also going to be using oporoko and also the garlic and ginger. So of course we are cooking egusi today. My frozen meat, I'm going to leave this to dissolve for some time because it's so hard to break. So, and yes, what are we going to be making with this egusi? Contemplating between Honeywell and poundo. Of course, so poundo, hey, the body of all the party. Yes, there's no much time to waste now. I have to start with washing my pepper thoroughly. I removed the bad ones and I selected the good ones. So I washed this one very well before I started cooking. So I also drained it out and set it aside. To switch into washing my onions. So I started by cutting it, and seriously this was dealing with my eyes so badly that I need to rush it so fast as much as I can. So I wash it thoroughly also, and I also add it to the pepper so that we can do some grounding. So yes, immediately I did that, I set it aside, and I also washed my spinach very thoroughly. I washed my vegetables so well, and I also drained it.
What is a soup without ginger and garlic? I mean, these two bodies goes alongside with each other. It is not complete without these two bodies. You just have to put it if you want the kitchen to be like, what is going on here? So I'm going to be peeling the back of this ginger and also add it to my pepper. I'm also going to start by grounding this in and add some water. So at this point I was done grounding, and so I decided to turn it into a plate and set this aside for boiling later. I added some water to rinse out my blender and also set the pepper aside as well as my vegetable. Then I am here picking out my stocked fish and get started
By selecting all the bones out of the fish before I decided to put it into washing. So here I also decided to get rid of all the sands in the fish, and after this point I also put it into the pot so that I can boil it for a few moments to make it soften.
So after that, I pick up my cow skin, also known as pomo, and I also turn it to a bigger bowl to wash it and get rid of all the excess sand before I decide to start slicing
into smaller pieces. Look at that body. Hey, whoa, pomo no they give nutrient, but it dey sweet die. Look at that thing. Oh my god. So at this point, my meat was already defrozen, so I decided to use my hand to split the rest and put them into a plate and set it aside. After I was done with that, I had to place my stockfish and also some pepper in different pots to come to a boil for at least 5 minutes. I was boiling my pepper. I was also getting my egusi ready for some cooking. So I added some salt and I also added some stock water, and at this point I had to mix it thoroughly to help me get it into a mold. After 5 minutes I've been boiling my stockfish, I checked out it to see if I was okay with the texture. I gave it a quick stir and I was okay with it, and I got it out of the fire. Quickly I placed a very clean pot on the gas, and I also applied some palm oil. So I left it for some while to defrost before I used my spoon to defrost this, and also allowed it to get hot a little bit before I decided to add some onions. Yes, after adding these onions, I allowed it to just fry for at least 1 minute. Yes, you wouldn't want your oil to be too hot for your egusi. So I applied my egusi in form of a way that maybe I was doing akara. So this is going to help you to make your egusi mold and not just be too watery. I left this to steam fry for like 2 minutes before I decided to stir, and I continued stirring for as long as I could remember until I was okay with the egusi texture. So I continued stirring this for a while, and after a while I added my pepper, and at this point you can see that I'm done boiling my pepper and it was already looking like a paste. So I also stirred for a while. I fried it for like 2 minutes before I added some water. My stock fish water to be precise. After adding the stock water, I stirred it for a while very well, and also I left this to cook for about 10 minutes. But so this was about 10 minutes later. My egusi was already giving some delicious vibe. It was already thickened at this point, so I decided to add all my proteins. So I added my pomo. I also added some stockfish that I already boiled the other time. So at this point also, I'm going to be adding some of my meat into this beautiful looking delicious soup. So I added some little water, then I gave it a quick stir. Look at that body. If you taste this at this time, you will enjoy it. So I tasted it and also find out that I needed some little Maggi, so I added a cube of no chicken. This was so sweet, guys, so delicious. You're not tasting this, you are already missing. So I added some spice, more like seasoning. So this is some turmeric. I also added some seasoning and also stirred it again. Look at this, I already feel like eating because I was deeply hungry at this point. Add some water. I covered this and allowed it to cook for like 2 more minutes. Oh, so I almost forgot that I've not added some crayfish, so I quickly added some ground crayfish into this soup. And after that, I also quickly applied my vegetables into the soup. So I was going to give this a very quick stir. Normally before, I would have left my soup to cook for another few minutes, but at this point I do not want my vegetable to be too soft, so I will just cover this and off the gas. Left the vegetable to steam in its own vapor. I continued by turning some poundo yam. Tell me who will say no to poundo? No, just tell me who. Then that means that person, this planet is not for you. Just go to your planet, because this is the body of all the Owambes. I mean, this is the king of swallow. Who says no to poundo yam? Nobody. This is poundo yam. Doing the gist for another day. Meat is me setting the table, and yes, I introduced some rinsing water and also some plates so that we can start serving our poundo yam. Another one. Yes, so yes, this is me serving the Egusi delicious soup. So this soup is cooked in different ways and method, but in this video I use the same frying method. Yes, so today we introduced some ice, because yes, this soup cannot go without chilled water. I also introduced some malt to go with this body. So yes, this is me eating the head of my life. Adabalogun, wash your hand and let's eat. I was already hungry. Let's step down with some malt. Me unapologetically bringing out the village girl in me. Let us deepen into this and make, oh my god, look at that. Oh my god, I just don't know anything to say. I love this part of the video because this is where I get to eat the fruit of my labor. Thank you guys for watching and God bless you.
Coming soon.